Hello and welcome back to Zara Energy, where astrology meets manifestation. Unlock your power within. July is an exciting month. We do have retrogrades in the month of July. So it's going to be a month of reflecting, going back within, re-looking at things, revisiting things during the month of July. Now, when you're watching these videos, do watch your rising sign first. Your rising sign is vitally important as this is the area of life where it is influencing you the most. Okay, this is the area of life where you're influenced by this energy. If you don't know your rising sign, yes, you can watch your sun sign. And if you want a full view overall of what is going to be happening for you in the month of July, watch your sun, moon, and rising sign. Now, there will be timestamps down below for you to find your sun, moon, and rising sign easily. Do comment down below what you're hoping for the month of July, what is manifesting for you in the month of July, and what is happening, within the month of July for you. Now, this video is sponsored by SXP Tech. Yes, they have helped design Zara Energy's website. And if you're interested in having your websites designed, there is going to be a link down below for you to also contact them. Aries, we start off the month with retrogrades. Neptune is retrograde, Saturn is retrograde. For the dates, you can find them down below. So it's important for you to note that both these planets are retrograde in your sign. This means that with Saturn and Neptune both retrograde in the sign of Aries, this is about you. Neptune, when it goes retrograde, you can feel a sense of disillusionment, a sense of loss, a sense of lack of faith and vision. See, Neptune's all about our dreams, visions, realities. This is also where you see the truth about yourself and others. This is happening in your sign. So when planets go retrograde in our sign, we get a full picture of our entire life because it's you, the focal point. Yes, you have a job. Yes, you have a home. Yes, you have a career. Yes, you have loved ones. But you become the focal point because it is you who's basically initiates the relationships, the home, the family. It's what you want, and they're all a part of your life. And when we are having these planets go retrograde, you're going to have to relook at things. Neptune can show you where you've been lacking honesty, where others have been lacking honesty, where you've been lacking honesty with yourself. And that's okay. Sometimes, we look past things in order just to focus on what we want to focus on. But when Neptune goes retrograde, it is going to give us that clarity. It's going to give you that clarity about you, your work, your home, your family, and what you need to see. And it can bring about, like I said, a sense of disillusionment. Do not get lost in the disillusionment. See, Neptune is a planet of rosy tinted glasses that we all wear. When it goes retrograde, those come right off and we have to look at things clearly. So when this happens, it's a great time for you to look at your life and ask yourself the big questions. With Saturn, it's going to be asking you the big questions about the reality. Saturn retrogrades also give you that reality check. Saturn deals with reality. And it's all happening in your sign. And you're going to be asked to look clearly at your life and what you want and what are you responsible for, what have you been taking on too much responsibility for, and what you need to cut loose, whether it's a person, a situation, a job, in order for you to focus on goals that offer you the growth you want to see. Okay, because Saturn will reward you. Saturn will reward you in 2028 when it's done its course through your sign. But now you're working on this journey of focusing on hard work and discipline. So ask yourself these big questions. The retrograde is not all bad. It's going to be asking you, hey, okay, Aries, look here now. This is what you want to accomplish. This is your dream. This is your vision. Have you been staying true to your dream and vision? Creative pursuits that you've been basically wanting to work on, ideas. What have you been feeling like? I want to make a change within my life. The vision you have for your life. This is where you're going to ask yourself, does the vision I have align to the reality I'm living? And what changes do I need to make? Because when planets go retrograde, it's an internal energy where we decide how we can move forward. What do we need to do in order to move forward? It's a slowdown period. So you might notice that progress is slow during the retrograde, but it's because the energy is shifting within you, asking you, how can you now shift within you? Where do you lack the discipline, lack the responsibility within yourself, or take on too much? Have you been too hard on yourself? Where do you need to show yourself more compassion? You got to be treating yourself gently during this time. Big transit that's also happening. We haven't seen this since 1949. Uranus is going to be entering into Gemini on July 7th. This is going to shift your mindset. I like this for you. This is where you break free out of old mindsets. This is your mind, your communication, ideas. You are going to be filled with so much ideas, so many, epiphanies, awakenings, conversations. You'll be asking yourself questions like, why am I stuck in this environment? You might even think about moving. A lot of you will think about, I should move home. I feel like I need to uproot the environment I'm living in and shift the environment, shift the neighborhood. I want to see a shift in my environment. If you're working in a company too, that's your environment. You'll be asking yourself, how can I break myself free? I love this for you. It's very liberating. It's a lot of movement. It's a shift in your mindset. It's a shift in communication. It's a shift in how you communicate, who you communicate with. A lot of Aries are going to be thinking about, I want to learn something new. I want to study something. I want to teach. I want to write a book. Do so. Uranus is liberation and freedom. And this is where you are having this major shift within your life that basically wants to set you on a whole new trajectory going forward. Now, on the 10th of July, we have this full moon happening in Capricorn, and this is going to influence your career, your goals, and reputation. Now, Aries, if you've been working on something over the past 6 months, you reap the reward, you get the recognition, you have the promotion. So you've been working for that promotion, or if you've been working hard to basically make a change, like change companies, you get what you want within your career if you've been working on it prior to this full moon. You can even reap the financial rewards for career success if there's something you've been working on. If you work for yourself and you've been pushing for something, you complete the project, you reap the financial rewards, you get the recognition, all eyes on you. This is great. Okay? And this happens with that full moon. You can see this happening 3 days before, 3 days after. It's powerful. Now, big news that you need to be aware of, we do have Mercury going retrograde. Mercury will go retrograde in the month of July until August 11th. It'll go retrograde on the 18th. And when Mercury goes retrograde, you're going to have to rethink your creative ideas, creative pursuits, romance. Exes from the past can definitely pop back into your life because it's influencing the 5th house, the area of romance, people we've previously dated, flings. They can all pop back into your life. This will be a great time for you to complete any creative projects, not the best time to sign any contracts for creative pursuits that you have. But I will say, utilize this time to, pick up an old hobby that you had that's great for fun and pleasure. You might even think about, I went there on holiday previously. I want to go back to that place. Or I had fun at that place. I had fun at that mall. Or I had fun at that park. You'll be going back to parks and places that any place that you enjoyed yourself. This is the area of enjoyment. So it is asking you to basically find what gave you that sense of enjoyment. Go back to it. You might even meet childhood friends. You might visit a childhood, neighborhood, or do something from childhood that you used to do. This is inner child. If you have children, this is where you can have more tensions with your children, miscommunication, conflicts with children or not with children, even around children at this point of time. But other than that, utilize Mercury retrograde for creative hobbies, things you used to do that you let go of and now you reestablish them. Great for that, completing anything creatively, or just meeting a friend that you knew for a long time and you still have fun with, and now you pick that fun back into your life. If any exes come back into your life, ask yourself, how was this relationship? Was it good for me? Was it not good for me? What do I want to do to progress? Or, do I want to progress going forward? Or do I just need closure from the situation and I want to move on? That is something that you'll be asking yourself during the month of July. Thank you so much. Goodbye for now. Until next month. Hello Taurus and welcome to July. Now, the dates will be put down below for these transits. You need to know that we start off the month with Neptune and Saturn going retrograde, both inside of Aries. This is influencing the area of your subconscious, endings, releasing, let it go. Neptune can really help when it's retrograde for you to show more compassion to yourself. This will also give you truth to any lies that have been told. This will bring the truth out, if anything. Okay, it's happening in the 12th house. So this gives you the area of truth being revealed, secrets coming to light, things you need to see. So it's good for that. Please rest and take time out. You could feel like you're under mental fog, especially here because this is the subconscious. Now, if you've been pushing yourself too hard, this is where you're going to find yourself needing more rest and time out from the world. Needing some time for self is what's necessary. This is a great time for you to see the truth and also end situations. This is the area of endings, releasing, cutting ties. So you might find that you are closing out cycles within your life where you are just like, I'm done with the situation. I can't be a part of this anymore. This can be work, it can be home, it can be family. You're closing out cycles, and it's vitally important for you to do so. Now, we also have something big happening. Uranus is going to be entering into Gemini. Uranus has been in your sign since 2018. With Uranus now entering into Gemini on July 7th, which it has not been in since 1949. This is where you are going to see a breakthrough, an unexpected opportunity, an unexpected situation arising that's going to allow for you to make shifts to your money, your income, your skills, your talents. You might decide to learn something in order for you to, boost your money. You might decide, I want to go online and do something with your money. You might decide to teach something and basically see opportunities coming for you financially. You might decide to change jobs. You might get the job offer. You might even experience sometimes the ending of one situation at a job or a place that you're working in order for a new opportunity to be presented to you. Uranus is liberation and freedom, and Tauruses are seeking that. They're seeking freedom, they're seeking liberation. A lot of them are going to decide that I want to go out and do my own thing. I want to start that business. I want to start that side hustle. I want to try something on the side. I'm going to do what I need to do to make that money. And that is what you are doing here. And it's based off your skills and talents. So if you're a hairdresser, cutting hair, that's what your skill is. That's what you get paid for. If you're a chef, this is where you're cooking and this is what you get paid for. You are going to decide the changes that you want to make and how much you want to get paid. Now, Uranus is unexpected and it brings in some, changes sometimes that we don't find so pleasant, like an unexpected ending, but know that it's all happening for financial liberation for you. Okay. Now on the 10th of July, we have a full moon happening in the sign of Capricorn. If you've just been traveling, you come back from holiday, you might be planning a holiday, deciding something like, I want a vacation. Where did I go to last? I want to go there again. Or you might be planning your vacation. If you've been teaching, this is where, you decide you want to, teach a course, or if you've been learning something to further yourself in some way, higher education, you complete that. And now you can go out into the job, market. If you're involved in foreign investments, anything to do with foreign investments, or where you are decided 6 months ago that you want to put a course together, this is where you complete it and you reap the financial rewards, and you can make money through foreign investments. If you've been busy with that, this shows there's financial growth through foreign investments. It's also the area of life of spirituality. This is where there's a shift within your sense of spirit. If you've been feeling stuck, you decide what has been keeping me stuck and how do I break free. This can also be a shift in your belief system. All of a sudden you read a book and you see something philosophical and it shifts your mindset, or you watch something on television and it shifts your beliefs. Beliefs are something sometimes that we hold dear, and this is a major full moon to clear out beliefs that have been keeping you, stuck and stagnant. Now, we do have a Mercury retrograde this month, and Mercury will go retrograde on the 18th of July until the 11th of August, okay? It's going to be happening in the sign of Leo. For this is home, family. So you might notice more challenges at home, challenges with loved ones, miscommunication, conflicts. If you are living in a place with roommates or renting, or even if you've bought a home, this this is where you come across those challenges with your home. Okay, this can be anything from things being, faulty, or it can even just be tensions with the landlord or tensions with the neighbors, tensions around your home and within your home. Family members you haven't seen for a long time come back into your life. Either you see them or they text you. Someone you share an emotional connection to as well can come back into your life. Maybe you used to live together and now they come back into your life. This is also a point in time, and it doesn't have to be a negative thing. I mean, this can also be a positive thing. Like you haven't seen that family member for so long and boom, they're back into your life and you're like, oh, it's so good to speak to you. I'm so excited to hear from you. You know what I mean? Good memories. This is also where you could be reminiscing about the past, nostalgic, thinking about the past, the good memories, the not so good memories. You could also be finding yourself visiting a place from childhood, looking at something from your home, your childhood. If you have a mom, if your mom is with you, this is where you even if your mom's not with you, you could be thinking about your mom. This brings up emotions. I would say Mercury retrograde for you can be very emotional. It's happening in the 4th house and it's squaring you, so it's emotional for you. Brings up your innermost emotions. A lot of Tauruses are going to have to face their feelings and how they feel about their relationships with loved ones, whether it's someone you're living with, whether it's someone that's a friend who comes to your home. They're in your home, so they fall into this area. Great time for you to maybe, if there's a recipe that you love, go back, do that recipe. Maybe you haven't had it for a while. It's a great time to finish anything up in the home. Great time for clearing out the home of any clutter, things that have been left for too long. This is your emotional, clear out as well as your physical clear out from the area of home and family. Remember boundaries if things get too challenging when it comes to family. Hello, Gemini, wishing you a blessed and happy July. Now, we start out the month with retrogrades in the sign of Aries. Neptune is retrograde in the sign of Aries. Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Aries. The dates will be all down below for these transits. You're going to be noticing a reality check. A reality check about the company that you keep, your friends, your social circles, the people that you choose to interact with via choice, any group that you are a part of. This can even be a company because we don't think of companies as a group, but it is, it's owned by this company. Everybody that works there is a part of this company, and you get this reality check. The reality of the groups that you are no longer aligned to. Now, if there's any deception within your social circles, friends, the groups that you choose to associate with, whether it's a hobby group, that walking group, the group, think of it as a social interaction online and in person, you see the truth. Okay, this is where you see the truth about the people around you, the people that you choose to associate with. Neptune gives you that clarity. When Neptune goes retrograde, we are hit with clarity. When it's direct, rose-tinted glasses on, everything looks lovely, everyone I'm talking to is great. Once a retrograde happens, no. It's not that game anymore. It's a reality check. It's the truth being revealed. It's a sense of disillusionment within your community. And it's also you looking at your future wishes and dreams and asking yourself, hey, where have I been sleeping on myself? When planets retrograde, they're working inward, and it's time for us to now go back, do the thing, the vision that you had, that you wanted to basically, commit to for your future wishes and dreams. And this is going to involve your community and having the right type of community. Saturn too, harsh truths, harsh realities, cutting away from associations, friends, social circles that you feel that are disconnected from you. Now, big news, on the 7th of July, Uranus enters into Gemini, and we haven't had this transit since 1949. This is big. This is you. It's your sense of self. This is a major shift in identity. When Uranus enters into your sign in your first house of self, you're going to feel this awakening, like, I need to take charge. I need to make changes within my life. This is liberation and self-liberation from the job, from the family, from the money, from everything. And you are now deciding, who do I want to be? As this is a totally unique version of you. Uranus is a planet when it comes into your sign that's electrifying. And you can feel that. Like, I feel electric with their ideas. I feel electric about what I want for myself. And you want to know what? I'm done with this old life. I'm done with playing small. I'm playing big, and I'm playing for keeps, and I'm playing for winning. And this is major innovation to you. So a total shift in identity. Who you are now is not who you're going to be over the next couple of years with this transit. This is revolution to yourself, and you might decide to study something, communicate in a different way. You're going to put yourself out there, Gemini, like you've never done before. And this is your moment. It is big. It's happening in your sign, and it's freedom of self. And you are cutting the chains that keep you stuck. And let me know down below in the comments, how are you feeling with this energy? Are you feeling electric? Are you feeling like, you know what, I'm feeling a sense of lack of hope with the situations around me, and I need a whole new version of myself, and I'm moving in a new direction, and I want to earn the money I want, and I want to have the life that I want. You are not, staying stuck for no one, and you are already a sign of a sense of freedom and curiosity. This just awakens you even further, as you are like totally changing. On the 10th of July, there's going to be a full moon happening in the sign of Capricorn. This is influencing financial investments, business partners, spouses, money. If you've been working on a business partnership, you reap the financial rewards. If you've been investing in your money all this time and a growth of your money, you reap the rewards. If not, this is the time to check in with your spending. This is the area of debt. Maybe you need to pay a debt. You have to pay off that loan. This is where you're really looking at things. If you have the spouse, this is where you and your spouse are. You're looking at your spouse's money. Maybe they might get something that they've been working on over the past 6 months. They reap the financial rewards. This is also it's inheritances, it's loans, it's taxes. This is where you're doing the things you need to do, the day-to-day things and inheritances. If you've lost someone, this is where you're dealing with that, or you finally get that payout that you have been waiting for. It's also the area of intimate matters and intimate bonds. So if anyone intimately that you're close with, physically or emotionally, so if you have that best friend you shared your heart to, or if you have that partner you've been physically intimate with, this is where if there's any secrets, it comes to light. You are very much aware about what needs to be seen in this connection. This gives you clarity. Full moons are, as they are giving us information and clarity, and with basically the area, the 8th house that's happening of secrets, power plays, power dynamics, you're very much aware. This is the time in your life where you might even decide to deepen your spiritual journey. Okay, so it's powerful, this full moon for you. Then we do have a retrograde happening. Yes, your ruler goes retrograde in the month of July. Very much a Gemini month this month, okay? Your ruler goes retrograde in the sign of Leo, and it's going to go retrograde, influencing your communications, your ideas, your thoughts. People from the past may re-enter into your life. Exes, people you've communicated with, friends might come back into your life. This is bringing back a lot of the old to you. Old environments you may revisit, old neighborhoods you might revisit. This is where you can be met with more delays and misunderstandings when it comes to contracts, negotiations, and deals. You might even have tensions within family and loved ones, relatives. If you have siblings, this is also where you might come across some tensions arising. Now, this is a great time for you to pick up an old idea that you've been sleeping on, completing ideas, any ideas or anything that you've been working on. Like if you were trying to launch a product and you've been working on it, this is where you complete it and maybe you launch it. Mercury retrogrades are also great for completing things. Maybe you complete the book you've been writing, or complete reading that book, right? Or you complete something you've been working on, a course, you complete the course you've been writing, or even you were learning that course. But ideally, do watch your vehicle during this time, because your vehicle is more influenced. You can have more breakdown. So make sure you do all the checks before the month of July and before the retrograde in itself, so that your vehicle is working efficiently. Thank you so much for watching the month of July. See you next month. Hello, Cancer. Happy July. It is your birthday time. You're celebrating your birthday, so wishing you a beautiful and blessed month. Now we start off the month with retrogrades, Neptune's retrograde, Saturn's retrograde. You're going to find the dates for the transits down below. That being said, this is where you get that reality check about your career, your goals and reputation. Neptune is, when it's retrograde, we get the truth we need to see. When it's direct, we have rose-tinted glasses. The retrograde rose-tinted glasses are off. it is what it is, and you get to see things really clearly. I do not want you to give into a sense of disillusionment. Neptune and Saturn can really be depressing, okay? Neptune gives us a sense of hopelessness and all is lost, and a sense of like, oh my goodness, I don't see any way out of this. And Saturn can also be, because when Saturn turns inward, it can be very harsh, where you are judging yourself harshly. I do not want you to do that. This is an ideal time for you to take the action necessary that you haven't taken before. The retrogrades, if you've been having ideas like, I know I need to make this career change, I know I need to study that course and apply for that job, this is when you do the work. Retrogrades help us figure out what ideas that we have and what dream have we been living in when the planets were direct, and now how can we take action accordingly. Yes, during the retrograde, things progress very slowly. So you might find that maybe you're getting slower progress when it comes to your career. But do the work. I promise you, Neptune will reward you in 2028 when it's done its cycle here. This is where you got to do the heavy lifting. You have to take the responsibility. This is also your reputation. If there's anything that you have been pretending to be, this is where it's, out that you're not that way. Because it's where people are looking at your reputation. Whenever we have planets in the 10th house, this is where people are looking to us to lead, and they're watching us, So be aware of that. You can come across more tensions with co-workers and parents, authority figures, but have those healthy boundaries and know this is you finding your own sense of inner authority and how you wish to lead when it comes to your life. Now, big news, Uranus is going to be entering into Gemini July 7th. We haven't had this transit since 1949. Big, okay? This is huge what is happening. This is going to be a shift to your subconscious. There's a lot of things subconsciously that maybe you've been holding on to. This is the area of emotions, emotional baggage, hidden enemies. This is the area of spirituality, intuition. That's going to take you on a whole new direction and journey in itself. You're going to have like this major spiritual awakening. I need to go on this journey. You might even decide, I need to go on this pilgrimage. I want to travel to that destination, and you're all set to go. This is also that awakening where you shift your whole life. Uranus is liberation. It's freedom. It is upheaval. It is chaos. It is everything that is, where we decide, I need to go through the chaos in order to liberate myself. And for you, this is like, I want to break free from any deceptions, disillusionments. I want to break free from what emotional pain I've been holding on to. You're going to face that and set yourself free. And it's going to be through your spiritual journey. I won't be surprised if a lot of Cancers are going to be going on this whole new version of who they are, looking for deeper meaning, searching in purpose. And yes, because it is the area of travel, you might decide, I'm going to take that pilgrimage. I want to go to that place. There's something there that's calling to me. Go. Okay, don't hold yourself back. This is the area of life where you literally set yourself free subconsciously from the people, the situations, the emotions, the past. This is where you're wiping the past clean. This is where your subconscious is going through a major shift. So if you are seeking any kind of help, whether it's through counseling, a life coach, an astrologer, speak to them, because it can sometimes feel so much that you're faced with the anger, the frustration you felt for many years. Now it's all coming out at once. And how do you navigate this? This is a spiritual process. This is a healing process. This is a self-liberation. And let me know if you're going through anything like this grand feeling of things you need to end with in your life, because this is very much the area of ending, releasing, healing, setting free, cutting cords. You nailed it, where you just like done, right? And it brings that, and you might notice unexpectedly something comes to an end in your life. And this is asking you, what is that big picture? What is the purpose behind all this? What is God all about? You're asking yourself big questions. Now, we have a full moon happening opposite you on July 10th, and there's going to be about relationships. This is where if you are happily involved in a relationship, you could be celebrating an engagement, a party, you are celebrating something, an anniversary of some kind. You are like, oh, I'm so happy to be with you. Especially if this relationship has the sense of duty, responsibility, and emotional depth that you require, you celebrate that win, right? It's also great for professional relationships. If you've been working to change jobs, you get the contract come through. You get the partnership from that deal you've been working on. This is where you get the collaboration you've been trying to get. You see your partnerships professionally also coming through for you. If not, this will be a time where you're looking at that romantic relationship and saying, hey, I don't know if I can be committed to this. This is also a time where tensions in relationships can arise. And either you work through healing that, or you work through like cutting and saying goodbye to that relationship, even professional relationships or any friends too. Because it's your one-on-one relationships, the moment that person is sitting opposite you, can be your mother, your brother, your father, your sibling, your next door neighbor, you and that other person have words, okay? And you're asking yourself, where do I need to lay some boundaries? Where I've been giving too much of myself? These are the things you'll be asking yourself with that full moon. And then we do have Mercury retrograde 18th of July until August 11th in the sign of Leo. This is going to ask you to check your spending habits, your money. All bills that haven't been paid now come back to be paid. This is a time if you are buying anything, make sure what you are buying is worth it in value. Electronics especially, okay? So make sure that you are buying correctly. This is a time if you've been working on anything in terms of like, I've been studying for a long time, you could complete the course you've been studying on, which is to do with your skills and talents, and you can now maybe apply for that job. So completing stuff you've been working on is great. Like you've been completing something that has to do like a project or something like that in order to boost money. You can get the money that comes to you, or if someone has owed you money, this is where they are able to pay you. So all money can return. All debts can also return in this area of life. I'm wishing you a blessed July. Thank you so much for watching, and you will see me next month. Hello, Leo, and welcome to July. In the month of July, we have retrogrades. We started off that way. Neptune retrograde in Aries, Saturn retrograde in Aries. For the dates of planetary transits, they will be down below in the description. So this is you now. Maybe you have to rethink your higher education. You have to rethink your travel plans. You have to rethink your sense of beliefs. This is also very truthful, especially for you. This is the area of truth. So truth can be revealed about situations. This can be where you gain the clarity about a person you've been dealing with. If you've been dealing with any legal matters, this is where you have to rethink things, reevaluate situations. But it's a great time for you to rethink your course of action when it comes to higher education, if you're planning any traveling, your sense of belief, and just finding your spiritual journey. This is asking yourself big questions. What's been keeping me stuck? How can I shift my beliefs, and how can I move forward? Do not become disillusioned with Neptune and Saturn going retrograde. Both these planets have the ability to make us a bit down in the dumps. Neptune can bring about disillusionment, lack of faith. Saturn is a reality check that leads to depression. So make sure if you're feeling any of these deep feelings that you speak to someone, a counselor, therapist, a life coach, an astrologer, someone to give you, a shift in beliefs, because this is the area of gurus, teachers, someone that we look up to that can help us through. And that, yes, is counseling, someone who can talk to us. Truth can be revealed because this is the area as well of truth. Now, big news. On the 7th of July, we have Uranus entering into Gemini. And for you, this is great. This is where you are breaking free. Great for you connecting to people. This is your social circles, your friend groups, the hobby group, online, in person. If you are someone working online, you can really unexpectedly make a change in popularity and growth. This is where you are soaring. Okay, Uranus in Gemini is in a harmonious aspect to you, but it really is influencing online tech. You might decide you want to do something in tech. You want to get very into tech. This is where you're spending more time online. Maybe you're an influencer. Maybe you go into digital marketing. Maybe you decide to become a social media manager, but you're doing something very much to do with groups. And this can also be not just online. Maybe you decide you want to make a shift and a big change within your community, and you want to lead the cause. You do it. Maybe there's something that you are passionate about, and you want to make a change within humanity, because this is humanitarian efforts, and you call to take charge and lead. This is also leadership. So you might decide unexpectedly, I want to follow through on what I want to do for leadership. This is also the area of life that's unexpected, like because it's Uranus, but it can also bring wishes and dreams and your future vision. You'll be asking yourself these big questions, and what you need to free yourself, what unexpected changes you need to make within yourself. And unexpected, like if something unexpectedly happens where a friend's circle maybe falls away, this is because it's taking you on a whole new direction of people that you're connecting to in every single way. So if you fall out with a group, any group, maybe you're falling out with your family, right? Like there's a family group that you're part of and you're walking away. This is because you're like inviting a whole new group into your life and you're connecting to new people and you are stepping up into leadership and you want to connect soulful aligned relationships into your life. This can even be like, say for instance, if you're married and you're getting a divorce, right? You're no longer connecting to those in-laws. You're radically changing your life and you're asking yourself, do I want to be a part of these people? I'm not aligned. I do not feel connected to these people. I do not feel connected to the people I share my space with. This is soulful aligned relationships. Now there's going to be a full moon in the sign of Capricorn. It's going to ask you to really pay attention to your work, health, and routine, and you might decide to make changes. You might decide to, like, I want to join a gym, or maybe I want to eat better. You might make changes to your routine. You might decide to make changes to your work. And if you've been working on anything over the past 6 months, you reap the financial rewards when it comes to your work life. If any tensions come up with co-workers, remember, boundaries are necessary, but tensions can come up with co-workers. There's also the area of health. You might find that you're feeling so exhausted during the full moon, days before and days after, 3 days after full moon, which is happening the 10th. You could just feel like, I'm done with the world. I need to rest. This is where you really need to indulge in some self-care. You need to take care of your health in every aspect of it. Now, there is going to be a Mercury retrograde on the 18th of July until the 18th of August. Yes, happening in your sign, Leo. This is all about you. Okay, it's happening in your sign. You're asked to rethink you and the people you connect to. People from the past can come back. For you, it's anyone and everyone. Exes, people you used to be friends with, frenemies, all want to come back. It can be good, it can be bad. Mercury retrogrades are not bad. Sometimes it just brings past back into our lives to us to relook at things or maybe gain some form of closure. This is where you are to relook at past actions, relook where you've given your power away. This is where you can come across more miscommunication, misunderstandings with people around you as a whole, because it's happening in your sign. It can be at work, it could be with your family, it could be with your friend. You are asked to rethink things. Now, I would suggest Mercury retrogrades are excellent times for going back into revisiting old hobbies, old ideas, or completing projects that you've been working on. If you have to sign any contracts, if you've been working on this contract for a while, sign it. But if not, and it's something new, question it. Okay? Wishing you a beautiful, blessed July. Until next time. Hello, Virgo. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed July. Let's get into this horoscope. Now, for the dates of these transits, you will find them down below in the description. First and foremost, yes, Neptune and Saturn go retrograde early in the month. Okay, we're talking first week here. And this is happening in the sign of Aries. For you, it's a reality check. Reality check about financial, business, investments, even your spouse. Okay, this is where you get to see if you're with the right person or not, especially here. Neptune, when it is direct, we have rose-tinted glasses, especially here, the area of 8th house, intimate relationships. This can be someone that you're emotionally intimate, a friend you share your secrets with, or it can even be your spouse. Or can be someone that you've been physically intimate with. This is intimacy. So you here get to look and ask yourself, what power planes and power dynamics are being played in the situation? Where do I need to set some healthy boundaries? This is all about boundaries here when it comes to your relationships. And you see where maybe you haven't been taking responsibility, or a partner hasn't been taking responsibility within a relationship, because Saturn's all about responsibility. This is the area also of divorces, right? It is where we decide to break bonds, walk away from situations. And it doesn't have to be a divorce, but it's any situation that's been draining of your energy, that's a person or a place that's emotionally taking from you and has to do with power plays, you're walking away from. Now, important thing to ask yourself if you're going through a divorce, do you have all your paperwork? You could be feeling a sense of hopelessness. You could even feel a bit depressed. Saturn retrogrades can also be depressing. Saturn as a whole, Neptune can retrograde. We lack faith. We lack hope. This is the area of spiritual healing. Connect to your astrologer, your tarot reader, your therapist. This is therapy that helps heal you. Someone who can communicate to you and help you through your innermost healing journey. This is also the area of spiritual awakenings. You could decide to go on a spiritual journey. Financial matters. You get the reality check here as well. Both these planets retrograde give you that. So watch for that. Where have you been, like, taking too many loans and so forth? That's what it shows you. Or where have you been giving out too much of money? That's what it shows you. Have you been taking your business in the right direction? That's what it shows you. Okay. Now, Uranus enters into Gemini July 7th. Big. Hasn't happened since 1949. So we have never seen this before in our lifetime. For you, career liberation. This is happening in the area of 10th house. So you are feeling like, I want to liberate. I want to make changes to my career. I want to go on a whole new different career path. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of Virgos decided, I want to be the leader. I want to have my own business. I want more freedom. Freedom in career is what you're seeking. Because Uranus is freedom. It is liberation. It does not want to be tied down. So in the area of 10th house, which is your career, your goals, your responsibilities, you're asking yourself, yes, okay, I want that career, but how can I free myself? This is where you decide to do something online, or you do something, whether it's becoming self-employed, you do something that liberates you when it comes to your career, your goals, your ambitions, and your sense of reputation. Because you are stepping up into leadership here, but it's in a unique way. It's in a way that's futuristic. You're going to have these future visions of what you see for the path in your sense of leadership. And it's like, I know how to direct. So if you are part of a company, you might get that promotion and now you're asked to lead. It's because of your foresight. So unexpected changes. Now, because it's Uranus, it can be unexpected. This means that you might notice that your job shuts down. Maybe it's an end. Maybe you're redundant. Maybe it's foreclosure on this, job situation. It's an end of it. And you decide, okay, you are now going on a new path. I don't want you to feel sad by this. Uranus is going to be influencing you over the next couple of years. And it's bringing this major transit into your life of liberation when it comes to your career. So in order to liberate you, you've got to free you from the chains of the career that's draining you. That is what it's doing. So I can see a lot of unexpected proposals, opportunities coming for Virgos to go in a whole new direction for their career. Let me know how you're experiencing this. Is this happening for you? What have you been thinking about for your career down below in the comments? Now, we do have a full moon happening on the 10th of July in the sign of Capricorn. This is influencing your 5th house of romance, creativity, fun, pleasure, children. So yeah, you've been trying to fall pregnant. This is where it can happen with this full moon. You get the news, right? This is also the news of like romance. Like you could now take your romantic relationship to the next level. You can deepen it, especially if this relationship is loyal. It's a relationship that's hardworking and has the grounded, stable influence in your life. If not, breakups can happen. Now, we do have Mercury retrograde. Your ruler is Mercury, so this is big for you. Miscommunication, misunderstandings, tensions can arise, especially if you got to sign anything, make sure you read it again. Make sure you check your vehicle, okay? Because breakdowns can happen and challenges to the car can happen. Now, because Mercury is retrograding Leo and this is behind you, your 12th house, old fights come back, old issues come back, old resentment, old feelings. You're mentally exhausted, you're feeling fatigued. This is where people from the past that you haven't spoken to in years come back into your life. This is also the time where, people can project their anger and frustration onto you. Especially if they've been holding it in for a long time and they've been feeling frustrated with themselves, it's projected onto you. Or they can bring up old fights once again back up. And you're like, why are we talking about this? It's happened such a long time ago. Secrets will be revealed. This is the 12th house of hidden enemies and seeing the truth behind secrets. Secrets come to light, and that's very empowering. And that's one of my favorite things about Mercury retrograde is that it gives the truth. It's Mercury, and if truth has been withheld during the direct phase, during the Mercury retrograde phase, we get the truth we needed to set ourselves free. Now, wishing you a beautiful and blessed July. Until next time. Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to July. And it's an exciting month. We do have retrogrades. All the dates for planetary transits will be down below in the description for you to know when exactly it's happening. Now, we started the month with Neptune and Saturn both going retrograde in the sign of Aries. Now, when Neptune goes retrograde, we can feel a sense of disillusionment. We feel a sense of lack of hope, hopelessness. Understand that that is the emotional process of Neptune. It allows us to open up to greater compassion. For you, this is in the sixth house of work, health, and routine. So this is a reality check, including with Saturn going retrograde, a reality check around work, health, and routine. Where you're overextending yourself? Where are you giving too much? This is also where you're asked to check in with your health, your daily habits, your work life. Is your work fulfilling you? Do you feel fulfilled? Is it giving you the passion you need? This is also that reality check and sudden restrictions. You might find work is restricted. Like you have to leave that job or you can't work there anymore just because you feel it's where you need to make the change or it happens. Okay, so make sure that your passions are aligned to what you want because Saturn only builds what it finds stable that can grow for years to come. Anything that lacks, it cuts it out. This is a great time for you to, see how you've been taking care of yourself. It's a great time for self-care. Now, we do have Uranus entering into Gemini on the 7th of July. We haven't had this since 1949. This is huge. It's massive. Okay, first time in our lifetime. And you are asked where it's influencing the 8th house, the area that you naturally rule, which is financial investments, intimacy, debts, loans, taxes, losses. Uranus in this area of life can definitely bring unexpected shifts in intimacy. Either you can meet someone and grow emotionally close to them, or you could end that relationship based on the lack of intimacy and connection you feel to them. When it comes to financial investments, you're going to see financial wins automatically coming through. And then you can also see a shift in finances, a loss. This means make sure you do your due diligence with Uranus, make sure you check everything, think outside the box. At the same time, responsibility is key. Don't overspend because it's debts. So it's where the debts that you're just buying this and buying that and not noticing how much debt you're incurring. And when it comes to transformation, there's also the area of psychological development, transformation. It's Scorpio energy. It's the 8th house, and this is the house of you, and it's going through a total shift of self, connection, intimacy, finances. And it doesn't mean that this is a loss and everything's bad. Oh no, it's telling you that, you could basically make money online. Uranus, unconventional ways of financial investments that come your way to make a financial opportunity. Online, an idea that seems completely strange, but it works for you. Communication, networking, teaching, online, in person could grow for you because it's Gemini, it's communication, and because it's Uranus, it's online, in person, collective groups. This is where you're having this grand awakening of what you can do for yourself financially. It's financial liberation, but more so in other people's money. And you could receive unexpected opportunities in other people's money. And you could receive losses too unexpectedly based on the debt that you have, the way that you've been spending your money. So be very much aware of that. And when it comes to intimacy, it's either there or not. And you will find that you might connect to people where the intimacy is just out of this world, something you can't explain. It's Uranus, it's unique. But then you could meet someone and it's just not there. And you aren't afraid to walk away from emotional entanglements that play power plays, power games. You want to set yourself free emotionally. Now, we do have a full moon in the sign of Capricorn, and this is going to be happening on July 10th. And this is to release old ways of thinking, old ways and mindsets of thinking. And if there's anything you need to say to someone, this is a moment in time where you say your piece. If you've been working on launching a product, this is where you do the launch. Or marketing, networking. Maybe you've been networking and now those networks pay off. Or if there's a contract or a deal you've been trying to broker, you get the contract. As well as Mercury goes retrograde on the 18th of July. So that's good that all that happened before then. On the 18th of July, Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Leo until the 11th of August. Pay attention. This is your career, your goals and reputation, and rethinking it. Rethinking your career. Rethinking your goals, rethinking your ambitions. This is where tensions can happen with people in authority, employers, parents, someone that's an authority over you. This can even be a spouse. So the spouse is an authority and they have something to say over situations within the household or whatever it may be. You can notice tensions. There's also tensions in your reputation. So it's where people misunderstand you and take you the wrong way, right? Okay, and this can also happen. If you've been working on anything career-wise, you could complete it during the retrograde. Or there's some shift that you've been waiting to see within your career. You could also get that opportunity during the retrograde. Retrogrades are not bad. Retrogrades just point us to the changes that basically are heading our way and what we need to relook at and rethink when they're happening. Okay, wishing you a beautiful and blessed July. Let me know down below in the comments how this resonated and what you are manifesting, what is happening in your month of July. Sagittarius, wishing you a beautiful and blessed July. Let's get into it. Dates for the planetary transits will be down below in the description. Now, we started the month with retrogrades. Saturn and Neptune will go retrograde in the sign of Aries. And this is where you could feel a sense of disillusionment when it comes to creativity, romance, fun, and pleasure, right? This is the area of your 5th house. So you could be looking at like a romantic person that's in your life and be like, why are we together? Right? Truths can be revealed. See, when Neptune is direct, we got rose-tinted glasses, and the person in front of us looks like the best thing ever. Once the retrograde, happens, we now look at this person like, did I have love goggles this whole time? Who are you? That is what you're doing when it comes to your romantic connection. So yes, breakups can happen. As well as romantically, if the relationship has been going through a challenging time, this allows for more compassion, more understanding, going inward and doing the healing work on yourself. Saturn here could also bring those breakups. Saturn is restrictions. It cuts off relationships that are not working. However, if a relationship is stable and solid, because Saturn respects that, you might deal with the challenge, but you find a way through it in order to move, to deeper commitment. Now, bear in mind, creative projects, you're going to work with them a lot more slow. Be patient. Neptune can also make you feel like, disappointed, disillusioned about your own creativity. You could also feel sad. This is the area of joy. So here you're asked to find ways to make yourself feel happy. Maybe do something that once you did, and now you can make yourself feel that joy within your heart again. Now, Uranus is going to enter into Gemini July 7th. This is important. We haven't had this since 1949. So, be prepared. This is going to bring up some shakeups to your one-on-one relationships, both personally and professionally. That relationship is stale, you're walking away. Split. If that professional relationship that you have, that contract, that company you're working for, their partnership now with you, you're asking yourself, hey, should I continue? Do I need to move away? What do I need to do? Uranus is liberation. You can also receive unexpected opportunities in your relationships. Unexpectedly meet someone and fall in love. Unexpectedly get married. This is marriage. 7th house. You might meet someone, just marry them. So just be careful. This is like where you make this on the whim, unexpected choices. But it is great for unexpected love or unexpected romantic gestures that could happen. It's really great for receiving an unexpected proposal or opportunity from your workplace or job or career. So don't think that Uranus is all bad. Uranus is the planet of unexpected surprises, chaos, upheaval, liberation. The one thing that you are seeking is liberation when it comes to love. So I doubt you want to be tied down, but you could unexpectedly make a relationship decision, or a relationship could unexpectedly change to, in like deepening. Like maybe something happens where you won't now need to get married. Okay, where you feel like I have to get married to this person, So don't do that. It's not the ideal time to do that, to make those unexpected marriage contract choices. But you will see unexpected opportunities arriving at your door for love, for proposals for work. And if that job or partnership, friendship, love relationship, yes, friendships are included, because the moment you one-on-one, if that relationship is stopping your freedom, you are like, bye, I'm out of here. Let me know how July is unfolding for you. Are these things manifesting? Are you feeling the need to break free from relationships? Have relationships seem like they've been stale and dead? And how are you feeling when it comes to your joy and pleasure? Okay. Now, We do have a full moon in Capricorn, July 10th, and this is influencing your second house of money. If you've been working on anything over the past 6 months, you could really reap the rewards 3 days before the full moon, on the full moon, and 3 days after. You get that financial reward, you get the recognition. Maybe at your job, you get the promotion, or you get the job offer that pays more based on your skills and talents, whatever they may be. Now, Mercury is going to go retrograde July 18th until August 11th in the sign of Leo. This is going to be more for you, double checking your travel plans, a shift in your belief system. It's great for self-reflection. I don't feel this is a bad retrograde for you. It's more like if you're traveling, double check your travel plans, questioning your education or the path you're taking to education, or if you're teaching a course, questioning the way in which you teach. If you're a teacher or a student, there can be more delays here. More misunderstandings. Like, you're taking in the information, but you're not fully grasping it. You got to relook at it, relearn it, those type of things. Maybe you don't pass a test the way you want to, or you fail a test, now you got to retake it. Those type of things are happening for you in this area of life. But other than that, it's a great time for self-reflection, spiritual philosophy, and delving deep into what is your meaning in life, what gives you purpose in life. Thank you for watching. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed July. Until next time. Hello Capricorn, wishing you a beautiful July. Now, all the dates for the transits will be down below. We start the month off with Neptune and Saturn retrograde in the sign of Aries. And for you, this is your 4th house of home and family. And this is where you might be confused about your living situation, maybe disillusioned, maybe feeling down in the dumps. You could be feeling sad. And I will really strongly suggest, due to the influence of Neptune, because there's a sense of like lack of faith, lack of hope, feeling disillusioned, feeling like down. And Saturn can bring depression. Both these retrogrades give you like this reality check about your home life, your emotional well-being, and lack of boundaries within family situations, and truths being revealed that you can feel pretty down. Do seek help if necessary, through counseling, through an astrologist, someone that you can talk to shed light on these experiences. Boundaries are key. Okay, boundaries are key, and you're going to feel the need to put up some boundaries with loved ones. Anyone you share a home with and anyone you share a heart with. This is the influence of Neptune and Saturn in Aries. On the 7th of July, we have Uranus entering into Gemini. And this is going to influence your work, your day-to-day routine. You're going to see unexpected changes to your health. So make sure that you're taking adequate, necessary steps. Take your vitamins, work out, do the things. And I'm not just talking about physical things. Get the sleep, get the things that you need mentally, whether that is seeking a life coach or someone that's a positive influence in your life. This is what you need to take care of your mental, emotional health. It's also self-care involved, things you need to do to give yourself care. This is also where you might get unexpected responsibilities, unexpected shifts within your work. And it doesn't have to be bad. You could get the work opportunity, or you might decide, I want to just change jobs. If a job situation comes to an end, this is where you're ready for freedom within your work life, freedom within your routine. Remember that Uranus is liberation. And you're seeking that liberation. It's a great liberator, the great awakener to what we truly feel that sets ourselves free. Okay. Now, you could also see that you want to have a job that's online, because Uranus allows us to have jobs that we want to do online instead of in person. It gives you that freedom within your work life, and that's what you're seeking. Then there's going to be a full moon happening in your sign on the 10th of July. And this is all about you, your sense of self, your independence. This is where you're setting the tone and boundaries. If you've been working on anything, you could reap the rewards. The goal you've been working on over the past 6 months since your birthday time, you reap the rewards and you get it. Now, if you haven't been working on any goals, this is where you decide, I need to shift the way I'm moving so I can work on my goals. And what do I need to do? What do I need to, instill in myself to be responsible and disciplined? At the same time, you're cutting cords, you're walking away from situations that are no longer necessary. It's your personal full moon, and it's always a time where we reach a culmination, an ending of sorts. We complete a cycle where if there's something we've been working on, we reap the rewards. Or if a situation is done and dusted, We're saying goodbye. And you could experience this 3 days before the full moon and 3 days after. Do let me know down below in the comments, how are you feeling with this full moon? How are you feeling with the month of astrology in July, and what's happening for you? How's it manifesting and playing out for you? Now, we also have Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde will be happening towards the middle of the month, 18th of July until the 11th of August in the sign of Leo. This is going to influence your financial investments. All debts come back to be paid. Intimate matters, boundaries are necessary. This is where deceptions come to light. Any secrets revealed. If you kept them, someone else kept them. Boom, out there like nobody's business. Money and debts, payments due, need to be paid. This is all about your finances. Okay, this is really the area of life where emotional baggage is returned to be reviewed. Again, this is the area of psychology. This is the area of where it's your psychology of how you emotionally process your emotions. Now, if you are able to process your emotions in your own way, do so. If you need help, seek that help, because it's not going to do you a disservice. You don't need to be strong all the time, Capricorn. You don't. So speak to the persons. Also the area of occult, so astrologer, tarot card reader, crystal therapist, someone with a modality that offers you the service to heal, because it's the area of healing. And you need this healing at this point in time during the Mercury retrograde until August, because you're going through the psychological feeling. You could feel emotional. You could feel like situations with relationships are just ending around you. And I don't mean just love. It's people that you've been physically intimacy. So yes, love, but it can be someone that you are vulnerable with, someone that you shared yourself with. This is also where people in our most intimate relationships, including family, play power plays and power dynamics, and be very aware of it. So if there's anyone you're emotionally connected to, you see the truth, you see the boundary you need to set, and you need to do so for your own emotional well-being. And if you're suffering any losses or any pain or angst at this time, because it is the area of losses, this is where you're reminded of your emotional well-being, your psychology, what it means to be alive. And sometimes it comes through seeing loss. This is where you're allowed to step into your power and embrace your sense of emotional strength. And I know Capricorns are very much guarded with their feelings, but this is asking you to go on that journey, and it's going to empower you in so many ways. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed July. Until next time. Aquarius, here's your July horoscope. Okay, so all dates for planetary transits will be down below in the description. You'll also find them in the comments. Now note that your ruler is Saturn, goes retrograde in the sign of Aries. Neptune is retrograde in the sign of Aries, and you are just mentally fatigued. You're just tired. Okay, if you've been learning something, your mind is just bogged down. It's like you absorb so much of information, you can't absorb another thing. It just feels like I just can't right now. So slow and steady. These retrogrades are a time of slowing down, pacing yourself, maybe doing some mindful walking, mindful meditation, and then come back, study, take a break, especially if you are learning anything. If you're writing a book, same process. You could just find yourself like, I've hit writer's block. Or if you're writing a course, I've just hit a block and I can't move forward. Take a break, slow down, connect to your passion, do something other than that, and it'll come back to you. This is also where truths and secrets will be revealed. If anybody's been keeping any secrets, Neptune is very revealing, and so is Saturn. This can also involve you really connecting to family, like siblings, maybe seeing situations within siblings, because it's the third house. It has to do with your mindset, learning, teaching, communications, and as well as siblings. And Neptune here can show you truths within siblings, truths about yourself, truths within the people that you communicate with, because it's your communication. If there's anything you said previously and didn't think too much about it, all of a sudden it's coming back to bite you, and you're like, what? Where is this from? It's Neptune retrograde and Saturn retrograde. Rebuild your mindset, rebuild your style of communication. That is what it's asking you to do. Neptune here can make the way you communicate sound very dreamlike, very sweet. Sometimes, when it's direct, but when it's retrograde, all of a sudden people are like, what did you say? When did you say? What did you mean by that? And if you're a teacher too, this is where people are also coming at you with these questions. What did you mean by that? Are you clear on that, so to speak? Slow and steady, rebuild your mindset. If there's something you need to go back and relearn, do so. Just don't push yourself so hard, because this is mental, just feeling mentally bogged down. Too much communication. I just feel overwhelmed. I'm learning too many things. Okay, Uranus is going to enter into Gemini July 7th, and this is your 5th house. You want to break free romantically so you can meet someone new. If a relationship is stale, this is like you're seeking freedom. You're like, peace, bye, I'm gone. Uranus is your sign. So it's a lot about liberation, freedom when it comes to romance. And that's what you're seeking. If the connection has freedom and you feel it can be free to be you, you love it. But if not, you're breaking free, and if you're single, you can meet someone new. Great for fun, pleasure, hobbies. You start picking up unusual hobbies that interest you. You're involved in it. You have a breakthrough. You understand your creative processes are really flowing. Some of you might decide to become an entrepreneur off of your side hustle that is so unique to you. You have the futuristic vision for creativity, and you can sell it based on what people want. You can also find creative projects that you want to work on online. This is a highly, highly exciting time for you, and it's profound. I like it. And then the full moon that's happening, right? On the 10th of July, this is where you basically, it is the 10th of July. Just checking, the full moon is happening on the 10th of July, and it's happening behind you. So you could feel like exhausted. You could feel exhausted and tired and burnt out. This full moon, you need some rest, you need some downtime. You could be feeling unwell. You could be feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm just burnt out right now. Rest if necessary. Time out is definitely something that is calling to you. This is time to close out old chapters, endings, releasing, saying goodbye, walking away from situations. This is also where you're clearing out a lot of emotional baggage. You could be feeling deeply emotional, deeply drained and tired. Rest is needed. Truth will be revealed to you with this full moon. It's going to give you the clarity you need to see. Take care of your health, because this will be the full moon where you suffer that burnout and you're needing some time by yourself. You also feel like you need some time by yourself. Okay. Now, Mercury will go retrograde on the 18th of July until the 11th of August. And this is going to influence your personal and professional relationships. Exes can come back, definitely. Memories of the past, dreams of the past, people that you were in love with, you will have that. This will also be a point in time where miscommunication and things are just taken out of context with Mercury retrograde here, especially. And it's going to influence your one-on-one relationships, a friend, a family member, someone you work with. The moment you're sitting one-on-one, you and that person just have a misunderstanding, and it can create conflicts and tensions. Remember, boundaries are key. It is so necessary. Think things through before you communicate, and take time out when necessary. Don't sign on the dotted line. Read and reread before you sign. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed July, and let me know down below in the comments, how are you looking forward to this July? What's happening and unfolding for you in the month of July? Hello Pisces, this is July, and I'm wishing you such an amazing, beautiful month of July. Now, if you're looking for the dates for the planetary transits, they will be down below in the description. Okay, so we start off the month with retrogrades. Neptune and Saturn will go retrograde in the sign of Aries, and you feel a sense of disillusionment about your money. You feel, down. Okay, Neptune here can really make you feel disillusioned. Saturn here, you can feel depressed. Pisces, remember your value and your sense of self-worth. You are worthy of the earning potential that you want. It is time now to follow through on your passions. So seek and go within. Look to your passions. Neptune is in Aries, passion, money. This is your second house, money. Look at what you are passionate about. Remember that. Remember your vision for what you want for yourself financially, and really come up with a plan. Do the work. Be stable about it. This is Saturn. Plan, discipline, hard work. Even if a setback happens, you plan again. You become disciplined. You work through it, through challenges. And I promise you will reap the rewards when Saturn leaves Aries in 2018. But for now, do not lose hope about your money situation, right? Money may feel unstable. You're being asked to redefine your sense of self-worth and really give into your skills. Make the changes necessary. Go after the career, the job, the sense of employment you want, whether you want to be self-employed or the job that you want to be employed. Do what you need to do. Uranus enters into Gemini July 7th, and we haven't had this since 1949. This is like changes within your home life, breaking free at home, either changing where you live, deciding to buy a home, rent a home. You're making changes within your home, even renovations within the home, unexpected changes also to your family. This can be unexpected weddings to unexpected families deciding they no longer want to communicate anymore. It's both. It's Uranus. It's unexpected. It's wild surprises. It's chaotic, but it is liberation too. Because you might find yourself wanting to liberate yourself from your roots, meaning like, oh, my family used to live here for years and years, and I feel like I just want to go move on the other side of the world. You're doing things to liberate yourself and your emotional sense of freedom. I like it. Uranus is emotional liberation here as well as the fourth house. So it's home, family, your heart, your emotional well-being. It's liberation for your ancestral line. It's like you decide, my family's been doing this job for so many years and I just want to try something new. My family's been living in this area for so many lives. My family has suffered this pattern within their lives, whether they have lack of money, whether it's been addiction, and I'm going to change it. I'm going to do something to shift my family bloodline, my lineage. I'm going to be the change, and the change starts with me. And that's what you're doing, Pisces. This is big. I like this for you. Okay, the full moon that's happening on the 10th of July has to do with basically you asking yourself, does your vision for the future align to what you're doing? You could also see yourself wanting to make changes within your friend circle, the people that you associate with its friends, and the people that you choose to associate with via choice, online and in person. You're deciding, I'm done. I need to find the people that are right for me. If it's a work group, if it's a home group, if it is like the family group that you do a certain sport with, you're deciding, I need to align to my people. You might decide to join a new community based on you making this choice. Like, I want to join this knitting community. You're making the changes necessary for yourself. And I like this. If you've been working on anything for your future wishes and dreams, you get it. Like over the past 6 months, you definitely get it. If you've been working on collaborations, networking, and connecting to others, the payoff comes through to you online and in person. Now, on the 18th of July, we have Mercury going in retrograde in the sign of Leo until the 11th of August. This is going to influence your work health and routine. Burnout is real. Missed deadlines are real. Miscommunications with co-workers and misunderstandings when it comes to just you in general and your routine. Take it easy. Okay, it's Mercury retrograde. You might decide you missed an appointment, or you wanted to go to gym early this morning and there was traffic. This is going to happen. Such is life. So let's look at Mercury retrograde. It's not a bad thing. Maybe these detours are showing us to appreciate different things in life. If you've been working on anything previously, like a work project, you can complete it. Or if you've been working on anything for work, this is not the ideal time to still continue on doing what you're doing. But if you're having any miscommunication with co-workers, and if you're having any miscommunication with people in your day-to-day, your environment, set some healthy boundaries, think things through. Don't get too riled up. This is Mercury retrograde in Leo. We can all of a sudden just want to roar like a lion at the next person. So take a step back, take a time to relax, think about things. People that you previously worked with, co-workers, could re-enter into your life. Yeah, old job offers can come back into your life. You could get paid for a job you've been working on and maybe it was taking a long time. You reap the rewards for it. Let me know down below in the comments your placements, because this is just your overview. I would like to know how it's influencing you, and if you have your placements out there, I can give you more insights. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed July. Until next time. Hello, Libra. Wishing you a blessed July. Yes, I skipped your sign. I forgot to do yours. I thought I did. The weather was giving mixed signals. Right, couldn't make up its mind, and so I thought I did your sign, but I didn't. And I think everything happens for a reason. So we save the best for last. And what I want you to note is, I did all the signs and I didn't do your sign. I skipped it, missed it, forgot, or thought I had done it. And I want you to think about that due to what's happening in the month of July. In July, Neptune and Saturn go retrograde in the sign of Aries early in the month. It goes retrograde, Neptune goes retrograde July 4th, and then July 13th, Saturn goes retrograde in the sign of Aries. And this is happening opposite you, and you'd already feel or have been feeling this pressure, especially from your one-on-one relationships. See, Saturn already does that. Saturn creates responsibility in relationships, and not just only like, I do not want you to sit there thinking, oh, love, I'm single. This is your relationships as a whole. This is your friend, this is your mother, this is your father, this is your job. That is a relationship because it's a contract. So anybody that you are in a relationship with, you're going to be asking yourself this very important question: where have I forgotten about myself? That's Libra. And when you're dealing with an opposition, especially with these retrogrades, and even before the retrograde, you would have felt this, like this pressure of the relationship, whether it's a job, whether it is a personal husband, spouse. You'd be asking yourself, where am I responsible? Because Saturn is responsibility when it comes to relationships. Neptune is having this idealistic view of relationships when it's direct. When the retrograde happens, the rose tinted glasses are off with Neptune. And with Saturn, you have to see the reality of yourself and your relationships. That is what the retrograde will be teaching you over the next couple of months. So when you come into July, especially the days that the retrogrades happen on, you really are going to be feeling this, like, where am I overextending myself? Where am I not even seeing myself? Where am I being eclipsed by my relationships? Because Libra is the sign of others. And yes, and now this is for Sun, Moon, Rising. Now, if you have your Sun in Libra, very important to note, the Sun is not happy in Libra. It's known as a fallen sun for a reason, because the Sun is exalted in the sign of Aries. So, when you're born with a Libra Sun, this is a sun that's at a weak position. The Sun is linked to ego, self, identity. So, with that being said, you are going to see very clearly where you have been letting yourself slide. Oh no, I'll take care of this. Oh no, I'll pick that up for you. Oh no, I'll do this for you. And you might be thinking, damn, I thought I'm done with this. I mean, because you had the South Node in your sign. And you do this in all your relationships. You do it with your co-workers, you do it with your friends. You're the one that is who people call upon, who they know is going to put themselves lost. And you're going to be very aware of that with these retrogrades. What is this retrograde trying to teach you? To see the reality of yourself and your relationships, to focus on yourself. You could feel a sense of disillusionment about your relationships, and that's perfectly normal. Neptune does that. It's disillusionment. It's hopelessness. I'm working at this job and I feel disillusioned. I feel unhappy with this. I have this partner and I feel restricted by them. And that can happen. I have this, relationship with a friend and I feel disillusioned. I feel like I'm the one. And this is why you're going to have to focus on yourself. And this is why I feel that me thinking I did Libra and not doing Libra is so true. Because Libras are that sign where you forget yourself because it's a fallen sun. Even when we do this astrological and you study astrology, Libra is the 7th house where the sun sets. That's where we're going into literally darkness, sunset, right? It's because Libra is the sign that extends to such a point to others that they don't really ask themselves the questions about themselves, about what they need, what they want. Or is this right for me? Or am I doing this for the peace? So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of Libras face some form of tension. I would tell you to deal with it. I'm being serious. You're going to have to create a little bit of chaos if you're Libra. Because August 6th, Mars enters into your sign and it's going to be in opposition, meaning that then you're going to feel all the anger and frustration if you don't deal with it now. So use the retrogrades as a point in time. And if there's a relationship or a person or a situation you need to cut off or restrict out, do so. You're going to have to establish those boundaries. Okay, Libra, so know that the dates for the retrogrades and how long they'll be will be down below in the description. And then what also is happening that is huge, on July 7th, we are going to have Uranus enter into Gemini. This hasn't happened since 1949. We haven't seen this in our lifetime. Uranus has been in Taurus. Now, if you're Libra rising, I know this has been creating a lot of challenges when it comes to shared resources, intimacy. It's unpredictable with intimate relationships and shared resources, like your finances go through these points of like great, and then it's like not so great. Now, you can experience this too if you're Libra Sun, Libra Moon. And I want you to note that that cycle started in 2018. It is coming to an end. And when Uranus enters into Gemini, this is going to be trining you, right? It's fellow air signs. That's why it creates this instant ideas and epiphanies. It's like an awakening. And for you, it's going to really be influencing the area of foreign lands, travel, communication. I wouldn't be surprised over the next couple of years, because Uranus was going to enter into Gemini for a couple of months and it's going to dip out again and it'll re-enter into Gemini. Okay, so you're going to experience this awakening, and it's going to be awakening of your thoughts. You're going to let go of limiting beliefs. A lot of Libras are going to want to travel. They're going to want more out of life. They're also going to want to teach, write, publish. This is where you're going to have so many ideas that you're going to have to put out in some way, shape, or form. Whether you are creating content, this is where you're publishing, you're making something, out there in the world. And this is what you're encouraged to do. Great for travel. There's going to be unexpected trips, unexpected opportunities. Now, this is really great. Now, remember with Uranus, it is a bit chaotic, okay, because it comes unexpectedly. So there might be an unexpected shift in your belief system where something happens and it forces you to shift your perspective. And that's not a bad thing. This is you breaking beliefs. Because what we believe is sometimes something so deeply rooted. Like, I believe this to be true. This is going to show you that something else might be true for you. This is also where you can go on a major spiritual journey. Like, you decide, I want to travel, I want to go on a pilgrimage, I want to do something deeply spiritual for myself. This is also, like I said, an awakening of self and the beliefs that you hold and what is true for you. This is also search for meaning in life. So you're going to be going on this, like, what is the meaning of everything? What is true? And what is true for me? And you're going to do this in the most open-minded manner. That it's not when you're boxing yourself in. It's not that at all. Uranus won't allow that. Uranus is freedom and liberation of where we box ourselves in. So this is big for you. Okay, so you're not going to be allowed to box yourself in. You're not going to be able to be rigid within your beliefs and your mind, and it's going to open you up to different cultures. You might be speaking to people from different places, faraway lands. You might be traveling. So this is really great. I love that for you. July 10th, full moon, and that full moon is going to be happening in the sign of Capricorn. Now, that means this is all to do with your home, your family, and your emotional self and roots. It's the mother, the nurturer, the energy where you're going to be needing some nurturing. Anything to do with your mother, nurturer, caregiver, or feminine figures in your life could be prominent around this time, whether it is healing that you're doing, realizing things from childhood, or you could also at this point just be moving home. Moving home, maybe you were looking for a home, moving home, buying a home, renting a home, you completed at this point in time. This is also an emotional journey that you started earlier this year that you come to this completion with. You will be sensitive, emotional, and needing some time out 3 days before the full moon and 3 days after. Give yourself that. You're needing rest, you're needing time out, and you're feeling pretty emotional. This is your heart and the people closest to your heart, and you're going to be asking yourself about the boundaries you need to keep. So it's family, but it's also the people that we love and we allow into our heart space. So it's quite a pivotal time for you. And do let me know down below in the comments, like, how's this resonating for you? What is manifesting for you? Because I don't know your entire chart. So when you let me know your placements and you let me know, okay, this is what I'm dealing with, I can look at it and see if, how basically this is playing out for you. And then what we also need to be aware of, that Mercury goes retrograde on July 18th until August 11th. Big. This for you is your social interactions. And you've been dealing with this since this year. We've had Mars retrograde. We came into this year with Mars retrograde. Mars retrograde in December of 2024. And then it stayed with Mars in Leo. Quite a big chunk of this year. Now, Mercury is going to go retrograde in Leo from July until August. And this is you now from the 18th till the 11th. This is you questioning your future wishes and dreams, what you see for your future, and the people that you choose to associate with via choice. So if you're working at a company, yeah, you chose to be there. Those are the people you're associating with. This is the groups in your life. This is your friend group. This is your hobby group. This is the family that you talk to. I have seen this so many times, that you could be at a family function and lots of people be like, this is my fourth house family. It is also the group that you chose to associate with, because there's some family members you wouldn't see, they're too far away, they're extended, and this is the group that you choose to connect to. And there can be misunderstandings, especially within social dynamics. And this can be online and in person, because this does roll over online places. Friends you haven't seen or in a long time, they could come back into your life. Or even you might get like memories of friendships you did have. Right? They might want to contact you. You might want to contact them. Now, we also have the sun will enter into Leo. We have that new moon that's going to be happening. 22nd, sun enters into Leo. This is going to influence the same area. 24th, new moon in Leo. Even though it's a new moon, it's going to still be with that retrograde. So it's not where we're really initiating anything new. We're kind of working on something when it comes to collaboration, especially online, in person, the social dynamics, where you're rethinking the ways in which you connect to others socially, as well as any collaborative efforts you're involved in. So if you're in a part of a team and you have a team project or a community neighborhood watch, or the community has a knitting circle, the community hall, or the community market, this is where you're rethinking how you are connecting and maybe completing things with this new moon. It's a new moon, but we're still very reflective due to the Mercury retrograde. What I do like as well is that Venus will enter into Cancer on the 31st. And I think this is really great because it shows that you receive money from your career, your goals. So the more you put yourself out there, Jupiter is also going to join the same area. When you're passionate, when you believe in something, you're going to reap the rewards. Okay? Jupiter is not the kind of planet. Lots of people think Jupiter is just, I'm lucky. Yes, but you need to do something with it. So this is not where you're sitting back. This is where you basically are reaping the rewards from basically the efforts that you give to your career. Okay, the more you brand yourself, put yourself out there, your reputation, this is where the opportunities are coming for you. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed July. Let me know how this resonates with you. Comment your placements down below. And let me know what you're experiencing and the placement, so I can look at your, how this is influencing you and what guidance I can give based on your personal chart and the astrology of July.